any place, any time is a good time for
history fashion. Today we're gonna talk about the exciting 1950s with all their changes, sophistication, birth of rock and roll. Stay tuned.
I've got a bonus at the end. I've got a bonus at the end. I've got a bonus.
And again, a return to the feminine. Women just got out of the Great Depression and the Second World War. Now they could afford all the styles and they didn't have to mend their old clothing. Naturally, they embraced everything, from the elegant silhouette to the comfortable pants. The woman of the 1950s is a very interesting mix of glamour and conservatism. The family became the center of everything, as the world needed to procreate after the war. Women went back from factories to being the perfect housewives. This is quite understandable if you think that people lived in fear and in poverty for so many years, and now they finally could afford a house, a family, they could live in a safe environment. So this family ideal depicted in mass media became the heaven to most of the people. Women became more feminine, more gentle, elegant, sophisticated, stylish, and the hourglass silhouette of the 1930s was back in fashion. A name that would be on the lips of everyone as the #1 sex symbol of all time. Well,
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone.
Marilyn Monroe. She was the perfect woman of the 1950s and later on. She was glamorous, she had a fatal shape. Oh, and that cute voice like a moan. The hourglass silhouette was enhanced by the new look by Christian Dior, created at the end of the 1940s. But it became a huge hit only in the 1950s, where people all over the world started doing everything in the new look. Of course, very few people could afford the original Dior, like Evita Peron, one of the best customers of Christian Dior. But the rest of the people, well, they went to their local mall because every retailer could replicate it and sell it in their shops. But if you look at the new look, you'll see that it's not that new. It's very similar to the fashion of the 1850s, of the Victorian era. Women were extremely feminine in that time, almost like glass doors that could barely move or talk or think, probably. Anyway, they were so feminine and so cute. Dior was inspired by this profound femininity and brought it into the 1950s when women needed it so badly. Well, most of the women. There was at least one woman who didn't need it at all, in fact, who kind of despised it. So she came out of her exile and said,
Praticité.
Les femmes ont besoin de praticalité. Oh yeah, Coco was back. After 15 years of not working and more than 70 years old with a very bad reputation in France after the war, she had the guts to come back, reopen her house, make an entire new collection and show the world what the new look of the 1950s was supposed to be. Women gained their comfort in fashion during the war years, so now they had everything. The glamour of the previous decades and also the comfort that came along with their emancipation.
I quite agree.
I'm sure you all know the famous cone bra worn by Madonna in the 90s, designed by Gaultier, that first appeared on the runway in 1982. That's the one. This was actually inspired by the fashion of the 1950s, when tight waists and pointy breasts were very fashionable. In the time where everybody was so obsessed with this family ideal, breasts were very important. But why the cone shape? Some people call them bullets bra. There is another theory. The cone bra resembles rockets. because we are in the 1950s where people are so obsessed with traveling to space, rockets, and thank you so much for being here and following me and giving me all this beautiful energy to continue things and to do this for you. Stay tuned for the next episode, 1960s.
I wanna be loved by you. The deedly 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 dum. Boop boopy doop.